Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me here at Journey of Faith with Pam. Before we get started, I just wanted to recap on something that we spoke about yesterday. You may have already heard, but apparently Biden is working with Congress or speaking with Congress to see if they can't come up with some sort of resolution so that there is not a railroad strike. Now, whether or not that they can prevent this and come up with some sort of resolution that's going to make everyone happy, I don't know. The only one that knows that is God. Let's certainly hope that they can come up with something, because at a cost of $2 billion a day, I guarantee you, if they go on strike, that is going to trickle down and it's going to affect each and every one of us. So let's just certainly hope that they can come up with some sort of resolution. The Bible verse that I have for us today is from Deuteronomy 6 through 7. And it reads, "And these words that I command you today shall stay on your heart. You shall teach them diligently to your children. You shall talk to them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise." Now that's very, very, very true. We as adults, we face a lot of issues. It shouldn't be that way for children. Their lives should be pure and innocent, having fun, being taken care of. But if we teach them the Word of God, teach them from the Bible all the time, they're going to be able to make better decisions as they grow up. They don't need to face a lot of these decisions that are being put upon a child's plate today, at least in my opinion. And that brings me to what I wanted to talk about today. Kids, bless their heart right now today, it seems like they have it coming from every angle. Even from the school, even the subjects that they want to teach in school. Now, some of the subjects, like geometry and biology, it's always going to stay in the schools. But others, like history and social studies, they're always going to constantly evolve. And a lot of that is going to depend upon who's teaching it. But because things change, what our kids are going to be taught will change. So you just have to guide them and direct them. For example, and there's a lot of the stuff that is different that's being taught now to children that is completely different than when we went to school. A lot of it I can agree with, but then there's also a lot of it that I don't. For example, one is the LGBTQ history. In fact, 4 states, California, Colorado, New Jersey, and Illinois, currently have laws in place mandating that LGBTQ and its history is incorporated into their curriculum, as well as having LGBTQ and a club with an advisor. Right now, though, only 4 states currently require the LGBTQ and its history to be included in the curriculum. But I'm sure that's likely to increase. In my opinion, that's something, while you're in school, that should be taught at a later date. I don't agree with that one, but that's my opinion. There is another club that's here in Kern County where we live. They have approved a Satan club at an elementary school. It's an after-school Satan club in California. And of course, many of the parents are upset. And I certainly would be too. As it stands, the club meets at a select public school where Good News clubs and other religious clubs meet. However, these religious clubs are ran by the same place, and I'll get to that in just a moment. The classes are designed to promote, according to them, intellectual and emotional development. At Golden Hills Elementary School in Kern County, in Tehachapi, approved the Satanic Temple and Reason Alliance. That's who's going to run the Satanic Temple and Reason Alliance. That's who will run the religious clubs. And it is sponsored by them to start up on December 5th. And what's really funny is they say other religious, but I know when they were talking about it on the news, they asked, do you have a Bible study there or anything like that? No. This is to promote children. No. The other thing that they have that a lot of the schools are doing now, they're calling it a character education. And the reason they say they're doing this, and I agree with this, totally, as social media becomes more entranced in children's lives, genuine human interactions and processing emotions have become a challenge, is what they say. Totally can understand that. There's too much information on the internet for a child. For our students today, social media is the number one concern. Totally agree with it. And they're saying here, it's not surprisingly, cyberbullying has become a major problem. It used to be that if someone makes fun of you, then you get to go home and wouldn't have to deal with it. But that's not the case anymore. They go home and they get to face it again right there on the computer by everybody. And it's everybody that can see it. Now, thanks to technology like Snapchat and texting, Facebook, what else is out there? Instagram, all of these things that kids have access to, kids are able to bully each other all day long, every day, which has been linked to more issues with mental health and suicide. In fact, in 2018, a study to self-harm and enact suicidal behavior if cyberbullying. So what they're saying is that there's so many suicides that were taking place that were linked to cyberbullying. I totally believe that completely. Well, I don't think it's just cyberbullying that our kids have to worry about when it comes to the internet. There's a lot of issues that our kids have to deal and face with on the internet. There's a large number of predators on there as well that are after our children. Just in the last few days, there was a horrible story of a young 15-year-old girl who lived in Riverside, California, who they say was catfished from a man from Virginia who just so happened to be a state trooper from Virginia, drove to Virginia, to Riverside, California, which is over 2,000 miles. He ended up killing the young girl's mom and her grandparents that she lived with, and then setting their home on fire before kidnapping the girl. The man was spotted by a neighbor because he was seen dragging her out of the house, and she was barefoot and screaming. The man, of course, was killed by police, but 3 people lost their lives, and now there's a young girl, due to some sick predator, will never be the same again. And my suggestion on that is, and I would have thought at 15, a girl would have been old enough to make her decisions on the internet. But apparently this guy was good enough that he can convince her that he was like a friend or her own age or something. But my suggestion would be to make sure that on your children's phones and their computers that you turn on the parental controls. And I wouldn't let my child take their phone or their computers with them after they go to bed at night. I just wouldn't do it. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. The other thing, one of the biggest things that I used to love to do when I was younger, when I was a younger adult, was like the thing to do on Sunday evening was wait and watch the movie that Disney would have, because every Sunday there would be an amazing movie on from Disney. What happened to Disney? This new movie that guess it kind of did a bust over the holiday weekend. What's it called? Strange World, where the main character of the movie in a children's cartoon is portrayed as being homosexual. Why do we have to go down that road? Why? And then there is a new Disney Christmas show, and it's featured in the show of the children holding up signs, each one spelling out, having a letter that spells out, we love you, Satan. The incident occurs in the series called Santa Claus, a Disney spin-off of the popular Tim Allen movie. Each of the child, like I said, holds up a letter which is supposed to spell out, we love you, Santa. But a couple of the kids end up in the wrong position. And they're kind of blowing this off like, well, this is supposed to be a comic movie, and that's supposed to be funny. Again, that's not funny. That's not funny at all. This is things that our children should not be exposed to at all. And it's ridiculous. And nothing hardly is done to these people. But I just pray for our children, because they got so much that they have to battle through these days. But I did want to mention that it was something that was really playing at my heartstrings. I'm a real big advocate for children and children's rights, because, like I've said before, I believe if a child doesn't have the right foundation, they're going to have even more problems as they get older. I believe that yesterday, I believe it today, I will believe it tomorrow, I will believe it forever. But I just wanted to pass that along, like I say to you. I hope you have a blessed day, and thank you so much for watching, and bye bye for now.